So what's up guys, and welcome back to the tutorial. So in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys how to do this portal entrance. So without further ado, let's get started. I already have my clip and every of my VFX asset here on this video. So first I'm going to bring in a clip. So you can see my clip is actually here. It's on a green screen, and then here I also have an empty background. If I should turn off this first one, you can see it's an empty background. Yeah. So as usual, the first thing we need to do, we need to remove the green screen from the video. So I'm going to go over to effect and preset, and then key light, and then I'm going to be dropping it on the top layer, which is the first one. So come over, click the pick whip tool, and then drop this. So then you have this. If I should check this, so you have this now. But you can notice there's still some stuff here from the key lights that the green screen part is showing. So go over the screen matte and then increase this a bit. So as you can see now, it's a little bit, it's gone out. So if I should put this to full resolution so you can see everything clearly. Yeah, but notice some parts of this part are still a little bit shady, but that's not a problem for now. So the next thing I have to do, we need to remove these two guys out of the scene. So what you should need to do is come over here, select the pen tool, and then crop this guy out. Let's zoom out a bit and then crop this out. Yeah, so we got this now. So got this now. If you should play this, this is what you get. It's actually been cropped out. So this is how it looks like now. Voila. So we got a cool entrance now. Although there might be some extra still, but don't worry, that's not a problem. We can actually crop that out. The main thing is for us to learn how to make the portal work. So the next thing we want to do now is bring in the portal, the two portal behind him. So we have this first one. It needs to be in between. Oh, lest I forgot, we need to, let me take this out. First of all, we have the clip and then we have the background. So let me rename this to as background. So I'm going to save this as BG. And then I'm going to rename the one at the top as clip, so we all don't get confused. So now the background, you can see actually at this part where I start moving, the background does not stay to the end. So I'm going to duplicate the background and then bring it a little bit forward, so it continues from where the other one stops. Okay, so now you can see that now the background has been duplicated. So we need to add in the two portal, this one. Let's bring in the first one. So as you can see now, we need to always put everything we put in, make sure it's in between the clip and the background. So everything needs to be here because that's where we're actually seeing everything. So as you can see, this is too small. We need to scale this up to be like the one we actually saw in the video. So yeah, this is good enough. But we're actually noticing there's a part here that needs to be cut out. So we need to trim out that part from the scale. Okay. I think now that should be good enough. So yeah, but this is not exactly the portal we saw in the video. Okay, so we need to add in the other one. This is just the first one. Now we need to add in the second one to it. Bring this here. So now this is it. So we need to scale this up, scale this here. So we have this now. It's now looking all good and classic now. So now we need to make this immediately the portal opens, he needs to burst out of the portal. That was what we actually saw in the video. So we need to extend the clip a little bit to the we need to extend the clip. So we need to extend the clip a little bit backwards. So as soon as, let's see, this is the part where the portal fully opens. So this is where it needs to come out from. think we need to scale the portal a little bit, scale this a little bit higher, a little bit bigger. Yeah, so this is good enough. So now back to the clip, we need to align it to exactly the part where it came out. So now this is the part where it actually came out fully here. So we need to scale this now by pressing scale on the keyboard, press S on the keyboard, and also press Shift P to bring out the position. Now select these two and then take it back to this part where everything was still a little bit smaller, and then scale this in. Yeah, okay. So if I should play this now, this is what you get. You can see that, but that was way too fast though, and this wasn't the direction. This is not the middle of the frame, but you can actually take this. But I think, let me go exactly to the part where the keyframe was created. I need to take this a little bit to the side. Yeah, here is a cool part to be at the middle. So now I'm going to turn on the motion blur to make the speed look a little bit much better. So yeah, I can extend this a bit because it was looking too fast. So yeah, we have a cool one, but you can notice it was actually coming out from this side. We want him to be at the middle. That's why I had to say we should turn on the position. So take him to the middle here. Here's a good part. Now it's at the middle. So if I should play this now, wow, you can see that. So it's actually coming out from the middle. So let me take this a little bit forward so it can look good a bit. Not bad. Let me, if I should take this back. So now we have that now. So if you notice at the beginning of the clip, the first thing we actually saw was that there was a spark, an electrical spark before the portal came out. So now we need to move out everything, the portal, the clip, except the background. We need to take everything a little bit forward. So we have this now. So let's say it's the spark that introduced the portal to come out. So we need to add in the spark effect. So yeah, we come over here. We have some spark. We have the ground spark. So was the one we used. Yeah, this is one. Well, let me take this back. This is the wall. Okay, the wall spark. This is the one. Yes, we used in the video. This is it. So I'll have to rotate this now. Let me see this. Let me first of all preview this spark. There are different spark depending on the one you want to use. Okay, I just want to use. Okay, let me use this one. This second one will be good. This is the other spark. Yeah, I prefer this one. This one looks more cool to use with. If I should play this one now, this is how it looks. But it's looking too big, so we need to scale this down to about 50, and make sure it's at that point where it comes out from. I'm going to be changing this from screen. Let me change the mode from normal to screen. So you have this now, a light color lighting due to the environment. You can see it's actually looking good. So another thing I'm going to be adding to is the optical glow effect to bring out the color. This helps to enhance the color. You can see it's now a little bit brighter, but I don't want it to be this bright. So I'm going to take this down to at least about 7. And then this the size. I'm going to reduce this a bit to 7 will be good. And I'm going to change the colorize or the tint color to about blue. I think this is good. I'm going to select this other one, select it as blue, so it's just easier, it matches. So now I have a cool color here. So now you can see it. So now we need to add the second lighting that hits the ground. Yeah, the second lighting that hits the ground. So which is this one here. I think is the top one. Okay, this is it. Yeah, this is exactly it. So the lightning needs to come out when this thing sparks, so it needs to be aligned. So I'm going to be scaling this down. Press S on the keyboard and scale this down. Then it should be at this point once it comes out. So it should all relate together. It should be at this point. So I'm still going to scale this down a bit. Then link it to this part. Change this from normal to screen. So yeah, you got this now. So yeah, I guess now I need to copy the optical glow. This is the optical glow effect I added to the first lightning. I'm just going to copy this and then paste this to it now, so I don't need to go through this long process. So you can actually see it now. So yeah, we need to also add more of this lightning. So I'm going to be speeding up this process to add more lightning to the scene, at least at this beginning part, because this whole part just look empty. We need to add this. This is supposed to be the last lightning that comes out before he comes out from the portal. So I'm going to be adding more lightning to this. So I'm going to be adding this one, duplicate this one, and then make it a 3D lightning, and then rotate this so it goes the opposite way. Yeah, and I'm going to shift it at the same time, and make sure it does not come at the same time with the other one. I'm also going to be duplicating this one, the first lightning that comes out at the top, and then maybe I take it a little bit away from this. Sorry, I just want to do that to the second lightning. Take it away a little bit. Let me try to rotate this just to change, to make it look more realistic, to make some change. Scale this down a bit. So now if we should play this now. So this other lightning needs to be connected to the thunder, which is this one here. So this is it. Connect it a little bit to the top one. So you can see now it's actually bringing on the lightning spark. But we can notice that this lightning is a little bit too slow. So I'm going to select both lightnings. This two that comes on, select both of them. Right click, come over to time, and then time stretch. I need to make it a little bit more faster than before. So change it to 50. The lower the size, the faster the speed. Time stretch. So yeah, you can see the size just reduced. So if you play now, you can see it comes out very fast now. You can see how fast it's coming out now. So yeah, we have this now. So I'm going to duplicate this one more time again, and then do this also to the lightning below. So the lightning is like an endless lightning that strikes, and then it comes out, and then you have this now. Now the last lightning, this part, we also need to make this part a little bit more fast too. So come over to time stretch, make this also 50, the one that comes out at this front. So yeah, now we need to duplicate this lightning one last time again. This is just manually duplicating the lightning couples of times to make it look good. You need to put one at the front so immediately it's coming out with the lightning to make it look more classic. So you can see that, although it's not looking that good on your own, I need you guys to take your time to make it. I'm just doing this for the sake of the trial, just to speed up the process. And yeah, so duplicate this again just to add more, and I'm going to toggle this as a switch as 3D. Toggle on the 3D switch here, and then press arrow on my keyboard, and then flip this to the other side to make it look. Yeah, I'm going to raise it to the top a bit, so you can see how it looks now. So now I need to add some of the lightning to the floor. Like as soon as it comes out, the lightning hits the floor, and then yeah. So let me drop this one here. So as you can see this, I might drop this one on this body first. Let me scale it down a bit, and then change the blending mode from normal to screen. So we have this now. Then now come over to any of the lightning we've used, go over to the effect control, and then copy the optical glow plug if preset we've already done, and then paste it on it. You can see just add that look. So you can see how it's going now looking all good. Yeah, so now if you notice back in the video, you could see some circular glow lightning that were actually coming out. So now I'm going to be selecting all this whole lightning, everything. You have to pre-compose this. I might not pre-compose this now because we might align some of them. Some of them need to be, I'm just going to leave it first for now. I should probably pre-compose this because they're looking too messy, and there are a lot of them on the place, scattered all over the place. So probably I just have to select them, all of them, all of them, right click. I'm going to pre-compose them as light, or let me just say thunder, THUNDR. I'm going to say okay. Now if I should go back now, you can notice they are all black. Now this is not what we actually wanted. Now you can just manually change this to add, but see it's too bright, which it doesn't make sense. So now what we have to do, or maybe you can try to change this to screen mode, which still doesn't make that much sense, but at least it's a little bit much better. But this is not what we actually wanted, so I'm going to change this back to normal, then come over like we've said in the previous tutorial. You see this here, you have to toggle on this switch here. Now it makes everything still uniform with the way it was, but it's now like it's been pre-composed in one folder. Well, all of them are still out to their individual control. They also own their individual control. So now it's time for us to make that circular glow. So the next thing you need to do is come over, new, solid, and then you can make it any color, but I'm just going to leave it as black because black is good, black is beautiful. So yeah, we have a black stuff. Now we have to come over to the effect and then type out Saber. Add this to the, so you have this blue color now. Perfect. So I'm going to turn this off, and then I'm also going to turn off the layer. So now I'm going to be creating different shapes with this. So the first one I'm going to be creating, come over to the ellipse tool, select the ellipse tool, and then first of all create a circular shape here. Here will be good, this size will be good enough. Yep. I don't know if my circle is actually that circular, because I'm not looking at this thing, it's not actually looking that circular. Let me take this up a bit, and then this side. Pretty much this is good enough. So what I'm going to do is double click on this and then press Ctrl D to duplicate this. Now so duplicate this, now we have, you can see you have max 1, max 2. Now I'm going to double click on this, probably anyone I'm holding, press shift on your keyboard, select the edge, and then drag out this other edge too. Now we got this. So now I'm going to be changing this from, if I should turn back on, you have this circle. If I should turn back the Saber, now you see what we have. I'm going to be changing this under the customize core from Saber to layer max, so you can see we have this now. Cool. So now I'm going to toggle switch and then change it from normal to screen, or let me put it as screen. So we have this, but it's looking too bright and we can't actually see anything, so I'm going to be reducing this down. So now you can see we have this color light. This is the first light you actually saw in the video. So you can see it's I reduced this about 23, depending on your scene, how bright or dark your scene is. I'm just going to leave it as 23, so it's good enough. So it's going to play like for the first 1, 2, let's say 1, 2 frames, and I'm going to go back to the layer, press Alt, and then close brackets. So let me zoom this in so we can actually see this well. So we have this now. So I'm going to, at this point, I'm going to duplicate this. After like 1, 2 at the second frame, duplicate it, and then I'm going to extend this a bit, and then now I have to scale this up. Select this 2, select this 2. This is now the new one, so I'm going to be selecting all like this, and then double click on it again. Now the 2 are probably selected. Yeah, you can see now I'm scaling this up. You can see how this works. So you just have to measure the circle, make sure it's actually aligned. I'm not sure we're actually at the middle though, because the way I'm actually looking at this, we're not actually at the middle, but we can always adjust this. So yeah, we have this one. I'm just looking at this stuff to make sure it's at the middle. Or for guideline, you can actually turn on the grid, or not this grid, the other portal grid. So this was actually the middle though, so we actually made a mistake. So yeah, let me just say I actually made a mistake. So let me take this, I want to take this to the portal so I can actually, if I should extend this clip now, so let's see, oh, we are not at the middle, so we need to align this our 2 portals to always be at the middle. That's one mistake we made. So I'm going to double click on this again, first of all select the portal, and then this is where the mistake always comes in. Select the portal layer, the circular, select 1, and then select both, like highlight and select, then double click, and then I'm going to be dragging this up to the middle, make sure it's at the middle. So I'm also going to extend the smaller one we did. I'm just doing this just so we can get it at the accurate place. I'm not supposed to be extending this. Select this one here, then now highlight by selecting the 2, and then double click, and then drag this to the middle. So now it's probably at the middle now. So we need to create more, I think like 2 more to this. So yeah, since now we know it's at the middle, we can actually shrink this back to the way it was, because this was not supposed to be extended out. I just had to do that just so we can mark the middle of this. So 1, 2, yeah. So right click, cut this out. So this other one should be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames for each. So this other one too, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames for each of them. Alt close bracket to cut it out. And then I'm going to be duplicating this again, then bring this one here, and then select one, highlight, then double click, shift on your keyboard, and then scale out. Make sure it fits like this. Probably want to scale this higher a bit. So I'm going to do the same thing again. Click on this one, duplicate this, extend this forward a bit, maybe shift it a bit forward this time, and then select, highlight, double click, shift, and then scale up. This time it's much bigger than the other ones, so you can see how it's actually going out. It's going out really big. So I think this should be enough. So if I should play this now, this is how it looks like. You can see how it looks like now. Wow. So probably now we don't need to be doing this. We don't need to be creating. So all we can do is just select and then duplicate. So I can just easily select 1, 2, 3, 4, right click, then pre-compose this. I'll put it as Saber, or yes, put it as circle, CIRCLE, circle. So now, yeah, we got this now. So now we don't need to, if you play, this is how it looks like now. You can see it. Wow, it's looking really good. So now we need to do the same thing we did to the first one. This I need to turn it so they have individual controls to themselves. Let me turn off this grid tool because it's actually blocking our view. Sorry about this. So this is what we have. So now we need to this thing needs to continue until the portal actually opens. So we need to actually select Ctrl D, duplicate this, move it to the front. So duplicate again, move it to the front until that portal comes out. Yeah, so this is the part where it comes out. I think, okay, it's up to this part. Oh, it's a lot of, so let me just, to ease up the time, just select these 3, duplicate this. I'm going to drag this onto the top. These are just ways to speed up your workflow, just in case you feel like you're actually getting slow. Then I'm going to select the 6 of them, duplicate, then take this to the top one again, and then boom. Yeah, so this is actually playing now. But now if you can notice now, this part where it's actually coming out, this is going out, once from this other frame, we want it to be at the front. Now this is where the problem actually comes in. Now I have to delete these remaining ones at the front because we don't want it to be like there's a light coming out behind the portal. Oh, let me undo that. So we still have this one. So now we need this light now to be, because if you could watch the video, this one, it was actually having one inside the portal. It was coming out while there was still some at the back. So now I'm going to be taking this rest of this portal underneath the video. Underneath, you can see our clip. I'm going to take this in between the footage or the top of the footage. So we should have this now. So as you can see it now, it's actually here in front of the footage. You can see it now, although it's actually really too big. It's actually too big. Advice when you guys are actually doing yours, you can actually reduce this first 2 here. Maybe you should stop here. It should literally stop where the portal is actually being black. So yeah, this is actually it. So you can see how it is now. So it should be behind your actor. Okay, so I'm just going to duplicate this a bit and then take this up. Take this up and make sure the last one is at the front of the first one at the top. So again, you can see it's actually doing the same thing. So I'm just going to duplicate these 3 I duplicated again, and then take it to the top. Make sure it's behind your character. Okay guys, make sure it's always behind your character. Sell the effect so you can actually see it. So yeah, this is not actually perfect though, but I'm just giving you guys the idea. You can take your time to make it look more perfect, add more color change, make it look more amazing. So I'm just showing you guys what to do when it comes to this magical portal. Yeah, you can see it. Now if you could actually look at the one I did, there was actually a part that if you should play this now, this is what you get. So now this saber is not supposed to be, it's not supposed to be coming out at the beginning, so it's supposed to be after the first 2-3 lightnings. So it's supposed to be out from this part. So I'm going to be clearing out all these other ones from here. 1 2 3 4 5. I'm going to be deleting this. So if we should play this now, we'll get something like this. Wow, so that's looking great. That's looking great. Wow, that's looking great. So now the next thing we need to do now, since we've actually gotten that, is to add the dust effects to the scene. When it actually came out, there was this dust that pop out, so we need to add the dust, the same old dust we've been using right from time. You can actually select this time. I think we need to select a different part that's more intense. I think, okay, this one is actually looking more intense. Wow, so I'm going to be using this one. So right click, alt and open brackets, cut from left, right, and then again this other part. Let's wait till dust clears out fully. So yeah, this is good. Alt and close bracket. So I'm going to select the dust layer and then drag this down since we've already cut. Remember, to come into this scene, I had to, for me, I also had to double click this that it brought before it brought me to this scene. Okay, so after I finish cutting, I'm dragging this to the timeline. I'm dropping this here. So I'm going to come over here to key lighting. Remember how we talked about removing green screen? So this, then select the stopwatch, speak with, and then wow. So now this is how it looks like now. Wow, you can actually see how it's now looking all blasted. You can see it, but as if the dust was actually here. So let me take this a little bit forward, so it comes out when it lands immediately. So you can see how it looks now, all looking good. But for my look, I'm actually looking at him coming out was a little bit too slow. So I'm going to go back to his movement when he was actually coming out, increase the speed. So I'm going to take this closer to make the speed a little bit more fast. So here we go. Wow, okay, see that. And make sure, guys, your motion blur is actually turned on. If you turn on your motion blur, make sure this blue stuff is actually turned on. Those using After Effects less than 2019, yeah, you need to manually turn this on after you turn on your motion blur. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this part. Now if you can look at we've already talked about this. Let me just add this last quick touch up to the whole thing. You can actually, if you notice, the video, I actually added some electric lightning to why it was already out. I actually added some extra lightnings to the scene. This is just an add up though. I'm not supposed to be doing this. The left those who want to add this, I'm just giving you a tip. This is what I actually did. I actually just took the same lightning, scale it down, and then I had to rotate this to some ways, and then toggle switch changes back to screen, and then my work is actually messed up, but you guys, I hope you guys are understanding. Take this a little bit to this part, to scale this down, so there were like tiny lightnings inside the portal that makes it look more interesting. So I'm going to be copying one of those from our previous effect we've already had, this thunder. I'm going to be copying one of the optical glue we've already added. Mind you, this optical glue is an external plugin I installed from Red Giant Suite. I'm going to be leaving a link to download this so you guys can actually install this to get more to this. So as you can see, this is actually here. Let me put a full resolution. See it here. So I'm going to be using time stretch to make this really fast. I'm going to make it as 40 so it's be really fast. Then also I'm pasting the optical glue I copied. So this is how it's looking. I'm going to be adding multiple um lightnings to different parts of the clip, different parts of the portal as it's actually coming out. You can actually take a time maybe to add more glow to the edge, more you can even add the heat distortion to make it look more gullible. Yeah, just to add more spice to it, so you can add more sparks. So I'm just going to, let me see, I duplicate this. This is just for the sake of tutorial. This is not going to be perfect though. I'm just doing it for the sake of tutorial. You need to make your own look more realistic as a VFX artist if you aspire or wish to be one, to be a great VFX artist. I'm not a great VFX artist at the moment. So yeah, so as you can see it now. You can also take a time to max out this lighting, because you can see at the edge you can see you're having some stuff. So let me just say I want to trim this part out, this extra edge. I don't want this to be on the clip. So yeah, so let me go back to my composition. So it removes those edge out. You can see, then press F on your keyboard to feather the edge to make it look really soft, so nobody can actually notice there was actually a change there. So you can see how it looks now. So I still need to feather this to be really soft. So now it's looking much better than before. So you can always add more to this. Just take your time, tweak the setting. If I should play this now, this is how it looks like. So guys, you can actually see it now. Let me put this on repeat so you guys can actually see being in. So you can actually see it now. See how it's looking now. You can see it, a lot actually happening here. You can decide to add more and more lightnings to his body. And also for that part where there was actually a light that moved from his body, like from his hand to his leg, and yeah, I noticed a lot of people want me to also add that part. So to do that, you just need to add new solid to it. This time it's actually the same plugin. We're going to be using Saber for this. Add it to the scene. This was the same thing we did for the anime effect. So I'm just going to shut this down so we can actually see it. Then add the max part. I'm just going to be doing this to just one of his leg. So yeah, press M on your keyboard. Let's say this is the beginning, and then this should be when the sound is out. So this should be the end. Let me take this a little bit to be the end. So I'm going to double click on this, take this down. The same way as animating the max part. Make sure the max part is turned on. M on your keyboard and then turn on support, and then take this down like out, and then let me zoom in so we can actually see this. Let me increase the quality so we can actually see the full resolution. So I'm going to scale this. See it here. I know it's actually really tiny. You guys can actually see. Let me change the color of this so you can actually manually change this. Let me change this to about red so you can actually see. You guys can see it now. Okay, so you can see it's red. So yeah, so I'm going to press Alt on my keyboard, close bracket to cut out the end part of this, and then open bracket to cut out the beginning. So I'm going to turn back the Saber now. Let's see watch what happens. So you can see, you need to trim this part. So this is where it all started from. So it's actually still a black layer. If I should turn this back on, let me put this as quarter resolution so we can see. It's actually still a black layer with the Saber. So I'm going to change this from customize core to Saber to layer max, and then from normal I'm going to be changing this to add. So we have this now. So if I should play this now, this is what you get. You can see it actually happened, but it was really fast. Wow. So you can actually increase the timeline to make it much slow a little bit, so Apple can actually see it. Yes, well, that's actually looking good. So you can actually come over to the customize core to make the edge soft, core softness, end and start roundness. This start roundness, make it a little bit soft, end roundness, make this soft. Now the next thing I need to do to make it look cool, duplicate the layer and then take this a little bit forward. Let's say 2 frames or 3 frames forward. Now if you should play this now, this is how it looks. So it looks like there are double lightning moving on his body. You can actually see it. You can also take your time to adjust the keyframe to make this whole thing sync. So guys, that's how I actually did the portal entrance for this. Okay, so one last thing is that if you notice this part, you can actually notice that the lightnings a little bit passing through his body. Let me put this at full resolution so you guys can actually see this. This is because, so if you can notice, if you can see that if you can look closely, the saber line behind him actually showing a little bit more visible. This is because we use the green screen, and the green screen, when we actually remove the effect from the green screen, we had to increase the clip blackness and whiteness, so it's actually affected the video. So to fix this now, all you just have to do is go back to the clip where you've already finished doing your animation and everything, then duplicate the layer. So wow, you can see this now. The layer that was actually showing behind him is no longer showing that much. You can see this is now looking really good. If you want it to be like clear the whole stuff, you can duplicate this more, like by pressing Ctrl D again. So now you can see the edges are getting stronger and it's getting more visible. But that's not good because you can see the edge of the green screen actually affecting this stuff. So I'm just going to leave it as twice. Or let's say you can take your time to work on the first clip before you start duplicating, to make sure all the edges of the green screen are actually properly being removed. Just for the sake of tutorial, that's how to do it this way. You should take your time to work on the matte shadow and every stuff to make sure the green screen are actually properly being removed before you start duplicating the layers to make it look like. If I should take this from final to the screen matte, so we can actually see the edge, you can see it there, it's not looking that much good. Let me take this blur to blur the edges a bit, and then soften the edge to make it soft. And also I can also decide to shrink the growth. So this edge, let me take this back. So I take it back, so it kind of like suck in, cut out the edges to make it look good. So I'm going to put this back at final result, so you can see that those edges are a little bit gone, even if not that bad. So but the next thing, just to kill out this whole thing, just by duplicating the layer to make it look a little bit good and make sure these edges are not showing. So guys, if you can actually look at the video we actually did, there was actually some tiny glue we actually added from the video, which actually the optical flare. We actually forgot to add that. That was actually the last thing we need to add to this video to make it look all good. So I'm just going to go over to layer, new, and then solid. So guys, so as soon as you've added the solid, so I'm going to come over and adding the optical flare. Optical flare, you can see, double click on this to add it. So you can see this is really shiny, but this is not what we need. Okay, so I'm just going to come over here, change this. First of all, I'm going to be changing this to blue just to get that color. There are a lot of lighting system here and it's not really that good. So I'm going to come over to option. This is not what we actually need. You can see everything. This is not what we actually need. You can see everything here is actually formed by what you see in this place. Everything here actually formed this. So I'm actually going to clear this out, come over to the conspiracy preset, and then I'm going to click on this one. Will be good enough, the mass media. I think this should do. Click OK, and then we have something like this, but this is too bright. So now this is what we need to do. Now we need to animate this now to make it look good. As you can see, the scene is actually too bright, but I'm going to take this to this part, and then I'm going to click on the stopwatch for the brightness, and then I press U on my keyboard and come over to this part, take it a little bit, like few frames backward, and then take this down to 0. So we have this now. So I'm going to take this forward again, and then another frame forward, and then okay, I think here should be good enough, and then take this down to 0. So if we should play this now, this is what you get. You can actually see the light. The light was actually coming out really fast. Like you can actually see it's so fast that if you don't actually look closely, you can actually see the light coming out. So now what we need to do now, we need to duplicate, crop this out by pressing Alt and open bracket, and then go over to the other part and then cut out. Then I'm going to be duplicating this layer so you guys can actually see. Duplicate this, take this forward, and then this time I'm going to be changing the position of this stuff. Select this and then take this to another spot. So I'm taking this on another spot, and then I have to duplicate this one more time. Sorry, not the optical layer. I have to duplicate the layer here, which you're seeing. Duplicate this layer, and then take this a little bit to another spot, and then this time I'll just be changing the position by clicking this, then clicking the position XY, and then place it somewhere else. And then I'm going to be duplicating this again. You can do this multiple times depending on where you want this to pop out. Okay, select this and then place it. Let me say I place this one on his face so you guys can actually see this one. So if I should play this now, this is what you get. So you can actually see how it's actually working out. Everything's actually looking really cool. Pending, this is just actually just for a try. It's not looking all that perfect, guys. So okay guys, so this is actually the end of the tutorial. You can actually see everything. This is not actually perfect though. This is just for the sake of tutorial. So guys, I would like to see what you guys can actually come up with at the end of the whole masterclass, and at the end of those actually watching this on YouTube. So yeah guys, that's it for now. Peace out. So let's head on to the next one.